Yo, what it really do, DC gang? Welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm hoping you're having a good day out there, my boys. Now listen, I showed you guys this deck yesterday or the day before yesterday. It's Poseidon's deck, aka GISHKI-GHOTI's, and I promise you guys that I will show you a full deck list breakdown with more replays so you guys see how the deck functions and all that. So here we are today. So with that being said, if you guys enjoy the content, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the boy, because I would greatly appreciate it. Now, before we get into the deck list, I want to go over the pros and cons, because some of you guys asked me a few questions about the deck. Now, the pros is that this deck can make a crazy, nice, enjoyable. You're going to have fun playing this deck on turn 1. Turn 2, and you're going to basically mostly rely on the Biru and your hand traps, which the only second replay that I have for you guys today, which is going to be the last replay. I had a bunch of hand traps, but I'm gonna show it to you anyways because it is what it is. So now for the cons of the deck is that it only has one main con. This deck has one big con, which is the fact that it gets stopped by almost every hand trap in the game. What do I mean? Maxi will bother you if you don't have the Kobai or the Ash Blossom, and because we don't play Maxi ourselves, Crossout Designator is not viable to stop the Maxi, right? So essentially you can still end up with something decent even if they do Maxi you, but you know, Maxi, right? So then Ash Blossom, your main starter is technically Paces. Your main starters are Paces, Focus Aqua Mirror, and Gishki Grimness. All three of these things can get ashed, and you don't want them to get ashed, bro. And then on top of that, well, not the spell, but both of these monsters can get imperm as well, which everybody's playing. So that's another problem. If you're doing your combo and they call by the grave, your Abyss, that's also another problem. Which again, this is why the deck, it has a big con, is prone to a lot of hand traps. So if you guys want to build this deck, just know that it can get stopped easily sometimes. Now, if you have a good hand with multiple combos that you can do and you can bait out some negates and stuff like that, because you could always bait something out, then it's a different story, right? So with that being said, we are running 2 Gishki Abyss, 2 Gishki Visions, 1 Carrot Sprite. Again, the main reason why I'm running Carrot Sprite, which I'm thinking about bumping it up to 2, is because this deck doesn't have a way to stop spells or trap cards as of right now. So the only way you'll be able to do that is with Carrot, which is why I'm thinking about bumping it up to 2. Because a lot of the time you're going to do your combo using Gigantic Sprite and you won't be able to bring her onto the field because you need this thing to special summon a Gishki monster or to special summon your Paces. You're going to see in the replays. But I'm thinking about bumping that up to 2. Then we have Paces Light of the Gotti at 3 again, because this is one of your main combo starters you're going to see in the replays. I do have a Shift Fairy of the Gotti, which you can play this deck definitely without this. Now the main reason why I have it in the deck is because of the most distant of the deepest depths. Just in case I gotta banish something, this is the best level 2 to banish. Instead of having to banish the Paces, I can banish this, switch out the Paces, activate the Paces, special summon this, and do my combo that way. But you could definitely play it without this. It's just I'm one of those people that I'd rather have it and need it than need it and not have it. So that's why it's in here. But you could definitely take this out. Then you do round 1 Seth, Ruby of the Gotti. This is a must. You have to play at least 1 copy of this because you're going to see in the replays. This is one of your cards that you're going to do to go into your Gotti combos during your opponent's turn. So you must at least play it at 1, right? Then we are running 3 Gishki Grimness. Again, this is one of your 1-card combo starters. You have to run this thing at 3. Now the main problem that I have with this card specifically, mainly when you're going second, is that normal or special summoning this thing and activating its effect is a hindrance, because after that you won't be able to attack unless it's with this thing, which is annoying. So then we have 3 Ash Blossoms again to stop Maxi mainly. So you know, Ash Blossom reasons. I was playing this at 1. I bump it up to 2 because this thing has really good utility. So it's Gishki Shadow. This is your main Gishki card that's going to search out your Gishki spells, right? Mainly this one or this one. Now I am running this thing at 2 and I did cut the other one out. I'm gonna explain it to you why in a second, right? So that's why we run that thing at 2. Then we have Ishki Omen of the Gotti. Now there's one specific reason why this is in here is, again, it's because of me, bro. It's the way I play. I'd rather have it and need it than need it and not have it. So the thing is that, for example, when you open up or you have the most distant of the deep, and you do have another fish monster you could banish, specifically maybe your paces, and you for some reason don't really have your Gishki package, you're gonna have to play Gotis, right? So if you have this thing in the hand and this thing, what you'll do is activate this thing's effect, right? Send the paces to the banish zone, and then you're going to search the Iceep, because that way it's going to allow you to special summon this thing onto the field. Now another card that you're running at 3 is the Minaruka, which I love. You have to run this thing at 3 in this deck because it's too good. You're gonna see it in the replays why I run it at 3 and why it's in the deck, right? Which is one of the reasons why you can't cut out this deck, but if you can't search this out with the most distant of death, which is why I have 1 copy of this. But you could definitely also take this out of the deck, right? Then we ran 3 Minurikas, like I said, mainly because this thing is a monster negate on your turn. So going second is okay, depending on what type of board you're making and what you have in the hand, right? But also it's a level 4 to go into your level 6 tuner plays, mainly, right? Then we do have also anytime you activate a water monster's effect, this thing is gonna special summon itself onto the field, which is nice because you don't get you only have 1 normal summon. So the more you can special summon monsters onto the field, the better. Then we have 2 Snowpios, the Shade of the Goti. Don't run this at 1. Run it at 2. Don't run it at 3. Run it at 2. 2 is the best. 2 is fine. 2 is like the perfect amount that you need this card for. This thing is nuts. If you play Goti before, you're gonna basically recycle this thing 1,000 times. That's why we run it at 2. 1 Nibiru, which I would consider bumping it up to 2, but I'm gonna give you a different option on hand traps in a second. So for 1 for me is fine right now. Then we do run 1 Ivishki Neramanas. You can play this thing at 2 copies in this deck. But for brick reasons and for consistency reasons, I'm only playing it at 1. But you can run it at 2 because you can special summon this thing twice if you have multiple copies of your spells, right? So then we run 3 Focus Aqua Mirror. This is also a 1-card combo in the deck. That's why we run it at 3. This thing searches you out any Gishki card, any one of them. If you don't have enough UR, then you could definitely run it at 2. You know, 1 is iffy. You want to run it at 3. You can get away with it at 1, right? Because you could technically play the deck without this thing, but you rather have it. So then we run 2, the most deepest of depths. And you could definitely run this at 1 if you don't have the UR. You could definitely play the deck without this if you don't have the UR does. Now the reason why I have it in here is because it's a good starter. For example, if you have any fish monster, any single fish monster at all, and you have this thing in the hand and you have a Grimness, you have a good turn 1 combo, right? Because you're going to set this down, activate its effect, get rid of whatever fish you want, and again you have the Grimness in the hand, right? You're going to search out Paces. When you search out Paces, you're going to normal summon Paces, activate its effect, special summon the Grimness, and you're going to go into your whole 1-card combo after that, which you're going to see in the replay, right? So that's why I run it at 2. You can get away with it at 1 if you like, but I like seeing it in my starting hand. Then we run 1 Gishki Aqua Mirror, just to special summon or ritual summon the Ivishki, right? The same reason we have the Gishki Necro Mirror. Now I have this thing at 2 because I like seeing it in the hand, especially going second, because you could tribute one of your opponent's monsters to special summon your Ivishki, which is nuts. Now the main reason why, if you want to add it in here, you can. Again, it's the way I play, right? But you can add the other one which will allow you to special summon this thing. But the main thing is that I like, I play the deck for going first. Going second, I do whatever I can. If I lose, whatever. I'm going to the next duel. But going second, sometimes you can play through certain things. You can bait out some negates, right? It depends on the hand. This thing, having to pay 5,000 life points is just crazy. Because, like, I just don't like it, bro. I don't like it all that much, but if you want to add it in there, just get rid of this, and this ratio is also fine, right? Because this thing recycles itself from the graveyard by recycling one of your Gishki monsters into the deck. So, but I'm running this thing at 2 because also I would like to recycle my 1 copy of this thing if it gets sent to the graveyard, right? So then we run 2 Call by the Graves to stop Max C, any other shenanigans that we need to stop from the graveyard, mainly Max C. Then we run 1 Crossout Designator because we are playing Infinite Impermanence, we are playing the Nibiru, Ash Blossom, and Crossout, so we could basically save ourselves from all of these hand traps if we need to, if we open up with this thing, right? We have 1 Aqua Mirror Illusion, again, because this is going to allow you to, if you have this thing on the field and I mean set or whatever, and you have this thing on the field, you basically have 2 monster negates. So that's why we run that thing at 1. 3 infinite impermanence, because infinite impermanence is technically the best hand trap in the game right now, especially going second if you need to, and because it stabs Castillas at its track on first turn as well. Then we do run 1 Ariompo Serpent of the Gatis. Now you could also mess with the extra deck portion of this. It's up to you, but I am running 1 Ariampos. I run 1 White Aurora Whale because I love this thing. I love being able to just let my opponent think that they can slap me in the face with a bunch of attack monsters, and then they leave me with a level 6 and a level 2 on the field. I'm gonna synchro summon into this thing and all of their monsters are gonna get wiped. So I'm running it at 1. I think I got to use it in one of the replays. I know I used it a few times. I don't know if in the replays that you'll see, but I used it. Then we have 1 Ascan Bincorn Gotti, right? Then we have 1 Baron the Floor, 1 Soso Supreme Severin Chen Ying, 1 Gotti of the Deep and Beyond, 1 Sky Cavalry Centura. Now the reason why I'm running this is because I love this thing. Being able to turbo out a Zeus like nothing is amazing. So for example, what you do is, if they don't have any negates, you could even do this against Castillas, because you could just, you know, get 2 level 2 monsters onto the field, and if you don't activate any effect after that, you're gonna make this thing slap yourself in the face if they're, you know, if they have more attack than you, of course. And then you're going to go into Downer Magician, and then you're gonna go into Zeus, and you could wipe out the whole board. So that's why I'm playing this thing. Then I am running 1 Gigantic Sprite. You might be thinking, why if you're not playing Sprite? I mean, you do have the carrot, right? This thing special summon out any level 2, and it's a part of your combo. You're gonna see it in the replays. Again, Downer Magician, because I'm playing this thing and I'm playing Zeus, right? 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Abyss Keeper. You could definitely take this thing out of the deck, definitely, if you want to, and add more Gotti cards. Now the reason why I have it is because just in case I have to move a monster out of the way to slap somebody, this is a good way to do it. You will link off into this thing, which will allow you to special summon another fish monster from the hand. But the thing is that it'll allow you to basically tribute a fish monster to banish a card that your opponent control out of the field. So it helps you OTK sometimes, but you could definitely take it out. I don't use it all that often. I just like knowing that I can do that, right? Then we have 1 Sprite Elf, which you can bump up to 2. Again, get rid of this thing, bump it up to 2 if you like. This thing allows you to go into your combo. You're gonna see it in the replays. Then we are running 1 Nightmare Unicorn, because we most of the time want to end up on IP Masquerena, and again we can bounce something back into the deck. And then we have Meg Knight Crusader Evermax, because this thing is really hard to out, and we can go into it easily with the IP Masquerena and the Sprite Elf, right? So with that being said, that is the deck list. Also, if you want, just for going second reasons, if you want to make the deck better going second as well, evenly matched, right? You could put 2 evenly matched, and like I said, you can get rid of this thing, you can get rid of this thing. You could do that. Just add 2 evenly matches there. I just don't know how it will mess with the consistency, because most of the time I just want to play the game. I want to be able to do my combo, which is one of the reasons why I'm not playing Max C. Because yeah, Max C is nice when you get to just throw that thing in there, but this deck is a combo deck that has 1-star combos. If you Max C and you don't even have your combo in your hand, and your opponent is like, okay, I'm just not gonna play, and then you can't even do a nice combo or whatever, not, they're just gonna body you next turn. Also, Max C is overrated. I don't like Max C personally, but that's why we're not playing it in the deck. But if you want to play it, then figure out the ratios. You could definitely play this at 2, maybe, whatever, and add 3 Max Cs in there. It's all up to you. Again, I just give you the base of the deck. I play the deck how I play the deck, bro. You could play the deck however you want to play the deck. With that being said, enough with the talking. Let's get into these replays. Right, gang, here we are for replay numero 1, first replay of today. And this one was against Tearlaments Castillas. Tearlaments is back with Castillas, bro, and it's actually more busted than it was before. It's actually really annoying. 3 of these duels are in the Duelist Cup, and 2 of them are in Master Rank, if I'm not mistaken. So here we're going to start off by activating our Focus Aqua Mirror, searching ourselves the Vishki. Then we're going to normal summon the Grimness, activate the Grimness effect, special summon the Gishki Abyss, searching out the Gishki Vision. We're going to activate the Gishki Shadow, send it to the graveyard so I can get myself my Gishki Aqua Mirror. Then with 2 level 2 monsters, we're going to link off into the Sprite Elf, right? Activate the Sprite Elf's effect, bring the Gishki Abyss back onto the field, activate the Abyss, search out another Gishki Grimness. Then we're going to activate the Gishki Aqua Mirror, basically tributing the Gishki Vision, so we could ritual summon into the Ivishki, right? Bring it out here, activate the Ivishki effect, special summon the Grimness back onto the field with 2 level 2 monsters, 32 ounces, 32 liters, Gigantic Sprite. We're going to activate the Gigantic Sprite effect, special summon the Paces. And yeah, that's why we play this thing in the deck, because it allows you to extend with your Gotti combo even if you don't start with your Gotti combo, right? So you're going to activate the Paces, banish that thing so you can special summon your other copy of the Grimness. With both of these monsters right here, you're going to go into IP Masquerena, right? Then you're going to end your turn, activate your Focus Aqua Mirror so you can set down your Aqua Mirror illusion, and that's your board. But not really, because your Gotti package takes 2 business days to come back into the field, right? So again, they're going to draw a card, you're going to activate the Paces, special summon the Paces onto the field. They're going to activate the Tearlaments Scream. Now, immediately, I knew that I had to get this thing out of here, because this thing allows Tearlaments to pop off, and I don't need that, right? So we're going to special summon the Grimness. Bring it out here. We're going to activate the Grimness effect, special summon the Abyss, which is also going to allow us to search out another Grimness. Now, usually, I like to special summon, instead of the Abyss on the second turn, I like to special summon the Shadow because it's a level 4. But because I knew I wasn't going to synchro summon into any level 10s, I did it this way, right? Because I knew I was going to activate the Paces. With all of these monsters right here, we're going to synchro summon into the Ariompos, activate the Ariompos effects, banish the Ceph, activate the Ceph, which is also going to trigger the Isip, Omen of the Gotti, to special summon. I put it in attack position because it has 0 defense. I should have put it in defense, but it doesn't matter. With the Ceph and the Ariompos, we're going to synchro summon into Ascan, right? Activate the Ascan effect, target itself, target the Scream, activating the Ariompos, that way we could banish a card. Now here, this is one of my first games with the deck, and I basically searched out a Minurika, and I'm going to tell you why. So we're going to banish the Ariompos, search out the Minurika, banish the Scream, activate the Ascan, banish the Paces so I can bring it onto the field. That's also going to trigger the Minurika because she triggered a monster, a water monster effect, right? So here again, the reason why I did search out for this is because, again, I forgot. This thing, you could only activate one of its effects per turn. I thought that it would allow me to negate a monster on the field, which is not a quick effect either. It was a mistake that I made, right? But either way, doesn't matter. They had another copy of the Scream. They have the Pressure Planet Raft, searching out the Tearlaments Kashtira, of course, activating the Tearlaments Sharon, sending the Kashtira to the graveyard, activating the Scream, activate the Tearlaments Kashtira, which is going to allow them to basically mill 2. This thing allows them to mill 3, which is why I got it out of here at the beginning of the game, because I didn't want them doing that, because it's also going to diminish all of our attacks, right? And they also activate the Staler Romarin, whatever, which is going to send a monster to the graveyard. The Fengil, the Soloprano, whatever that's called. Again, mill 5 cards. Of course, they hit a Sillieg, they hit a Rhino Heart. So they activate, oh, and yeah, the Fengil of the Soul Drapon, which is going to special summon itself onto the field. Then the Rhino Heart is going to special summon itself onto the field. They're going to send another Crimey to the graveyard, searching out another Rhino Heart, activating Rhino Heart's effect, sending a Havness to the graveyard, and immediately I'm going to activate my Vishki, get that thing out of here. Send it back to the deck, it's negated. Then we're going to activate our Aqua Mirror Illusion, special summon our Vishki back onto the field, activating the IP Masquerena. Now I did this a little early, right, because we're going to link off into Mech Knight Crusadia Evermax. And the reason why I did this is because Tearlaments can do a bunch of shenanigans at all times, and I didn't want to get it caught off guard, because if they're going to deal with my board, bro, they have to deal with this thing first, right? So now they're going to use both of these monsters right here to link off into the Dark Charmer Gloomy. They're going to activate that thing's effect, trying to special summon the IP, and I'm not having that. We're going to activate the Vishki once again, send that thing back to my hand, negate this, send it back to the extra deck. Then they're going to activate the Tearlaments Grief, special summon the Tearlaments Kashtira. Now, they scooped after this. Now, I basically, because they knew they couldn't out this thing at this point in time, they just scooped, bro. They sent that thing back into the deck. They thought that that thing would activate again, I guess. And no, bro, it's GG's. Congratulations, you played yourself. Let's go to the next replay. Right, gang, here we are for replay number 2. I don't remember what I was playing against either. So here we're gonna start off by activating our Focus Aqua Mirror, right? Searching out the Grimness. We're going to normal summon the Grimness, activate the Grimness effect, special summon the Abyss, activate the Abyss effect, get in the Gishki Vision, activate that thing's effect so you can get yourself the Evishki. Then we both for these monsters right here. You're going to go into the Sprite Elf. It's technically the same combo, but we did something different on this one. Activate the Elf, special summon the Abyss, activate the Abyss effect, get yourself the Gishki Shadow. We're going to activate the Gishki Necro Mirror because we already have this. I'm going to send the Gishki Shadow to the graveyard, right? That way we could ritual summon the Vishki onto the field. Then we're going to activate the Vishki effect. Oh, yeah, that thing. You have to pay 3,000 life points when you special summon this thing onto the field. Just know that. But it's less than 5,000, right? So we activate this. We bring the Grimness back onto the field. Then we activate the Gishki Necro Mirror. That way we can recycle itself and the Gishki Shadow. Then we both for these monsters right here. We are going to go into the 32 ounces Gigantic Sprite. Activate its effects. Special summon the Paces. Activate the Paces. Banishes. Special summon the Seth. Then we both for these monsters right here. Go into the IP Masquerena, right? Luckily for us, we also had our trap already, and that's our board. Again, activate the Focus Aqua Mirror, which I didn't have to. Setting down a Gishki Aqua Mirror. So here we're going to special summon the Paces. They're going to activate the Cypher Gamma. I'm going to Evishki that thing. Negate it, get it out of here. Then they're going to activate the Tearlaments Halfness, right? I'm going to Ash Blossom that, get it out of here. So that thing gets bodied and negated. Again, the Gamma gets bodied and negated as well. Send it back to my hand. Send that thing back into your deck. Bring the Paces onto the field. I should have immediately put the Paces here. Always put the Paces where the elf is pointing, please. So we're going to activate the Aqua Mirror Illusion to bring the Vishki. Oh, maybe that's why I left it open, because this thing is protected now. So they're going to special summon the Unicorn, right? I'm going to activate the elf. Bring the Grimness back onto the field. They're going to activate that thing's effect. I'm going to activate the Grimness. And this is what I was telling you earlier. I like going for the Shadow, right? They're going to get rid of my Mech Knight. And then they're going to activate this thing's second effect. I'm going to activate my Vishki, negate that thing, get it out of here. Which is not the best negate, but it's the only negate I have right now. It's going to send it back into the deck. But you're playing against Castira. You always want to have one of the monsters onto the field because Fenrir, right? Then I'm going to activate my IP Masquerena, and I'm going to go into the Nightmare Unicorn. Bring it out here. Now, I didn't want to activate this thing's effect and get rid of this thing. So I didn't activate the effect. I just let them activate the Fenrir, right? Which, again, they're going to go for the Paces. I had a feeling they would. So I basically use this as bait. That's what I did, right? So now we get to go into our Gotti combo. I go into my Arion post. We're going to activate the Arion post, banish the Snopios, activate the Snopios effect, banish the Paces so I can get the Snopios back into my hand. They're going to activate the Fenrir, searching out another Fenrir, right? They're going to normal summon the Tearlaments Rhinoheart. Oh yeah, it's another Tearlaments Castira deck. That's why they didn't search out. I was wondering why they didn't search out the Rice Heart, right? But either way, they send the Sharon to the graveyard, activate the Sharon's effect. I'm going to activate my Snopios, banish the Seth, and banish the Gishki Abyss, because they're both fishes. Special summon this thing onto the field. Then they're going to fusion summon right here with all three of these monsters. They're going to go into the Tearlaments Collider Heart. Bring it out here then. They activate that thing's effect, trying to banish my back row. I'm going to banish, activate my Snopios effect. So that way, next time this thing leaves the field, it gets banished instead, right? Then I'm going to activate the Seth to special summon it back onto the field. Give me that. And right here, they're about to scoop. I remember they're about to scoop. Now, one of the reasons why they scoop is because, yeah, they're sending this thing to the deck. They don't have anything else they can do. And basically, I can activate the Seth. I can banish the whole board if I want to, right? Because we can definitely make a level 10 out of this. We can go into our... Where'd it go? Oh, yeah. We can definitely go into our Gotti of the Deep. But what I was going to do was go into our Aurora Whale and just basically pop both of these. This thing gets banished. This thing goes into the banish zone, right? But again, they knew they lost right here because it's GG. We had way too many options to do. Banish the whole board, go into Aurora Whale, pop that thing so it gets banished. Way too many options. Let's go into the next replay. Oh, right, gang, here we are for replay number 3 of today. And I didn't realize that almost all of these replays are against Kashtira Tearlaments, bro. But that's what we play against. Activate the Gishki Vision, send nothing to the graveyard so I can get the Vishki to the hand, right? Activating the Focus Aqua Mirror so I can search out the Gishki Grimness. Normal summon the Paces, activate the Faces, special summon the Grimness, activate the Grimness, special summon the Abyss. Activate the Abyss, get yourself the Gishki Shadow, activate the Shadow so you can search out the Gishki Necro Mirror. Then with 2 level 2s, we're going to link off into the Sprite Elf, of course. Activate the Sprite Elf, bring the Abyss back onto the field, activate the Abyss, search out the Grimness. Now we're going to activate the Gishki Necro Mirror, basically tributing the Grimness so we can ritual summon the Vishki. Activate the Vishki effect, special summon the Grimness onto the field. Activate the Gishki Necro Mirror so we can recycle our cards. With both of these monsters right here, 32 ounces, Gigantic Sprite. And here I activate the Sprite and they effect Veiler me, right? So I did activate my Vishki because I want my GOTI package to pop off. So we do have to basically, you know, activate the Vishki. Now we don't have the monster in the game, but it's okay, because we still get to play GOTIs. Bring the Ceph onto the field, and we vote for these monsters right here. IP Masquerena. And that's what I was telling you, that this deck is prone to a lot of hand traps. Your whole entire combo could be different depending on what they stop, right? So here they're going to draw a card. We're going to activate the Paces, special summon the Paces onto the field. They're going to activate the Infinite Impermanence, and this is why you always special summon your monsters where Sprite Elf is pointing, because they can only Infinite Impermanence the Sprite Elf, right? So I'm going to activate that thing's effect, special summon the Grimness onto the field. I think it's negated, right? So I'm going to activate the Grimness, special summon the Gishki Shadow because it's a level 4. Then I activate the IP Masquerena. That way I can go into the Mech Crusader Evermax. Now I need to stop doing this thing so early. I mainly do it because I like to troll, bro. And I feel confident when I'm playing GOTI. So I'm like, we're going to win anyways. And they're going to activate the Fenrir, searching out the Tearlaments Kashtira. They're going to set down the Primal Planet, whatever it's called. I'm going to Ash Blast on that thing because I don't want them searching for Tearlaments cards, right? Negate it, get it out of here. So here they activate the Fenrir. They're going to try and banish my Paces. I activate the Paces effect. With both of these monsters, level 2, level 4, Ariompos, bring it onto the field. Then we're going to activate the Ariompos, banishing a Snopios, activate the Snopios effect, banish a Paces, so I can get this back to my hand. They're going to normal summon a Jet Synchro, and with both of these monsters, they're going to go into the Chaos Ruler and get a little chaotic. They're going to activate that thing's effect, and I should have known, because I could have banished this thing off of the field, but I legitimately for some reason was not thinking about them being able to go to Chaos Ruler, right? So here they hit a bunch of cards. All of that stuff gets milled. The Taylor gets milled as well. They're gonna send a Spore to the graveyard, activating the Tearlaments Kashtira, banishing a Tearlaments card, activating this effect, milling 2 cards. They're gonna activate the Jet Synchro, send the Stilic to the graveyard, and with both of these monsters right here, they're going to the Hot Red Dragon Arcfiend, which again, I could have stopped them from doing this. But I'm like, I wasn't expecting all of this, bro. They activate the Chaos Ruler, banish a Dark and a Light, special summon the Chaos Ruler back onto the field. Necro Shinobi is going to allow them to special summon itself into the field, which is a level 2 tuner, right? So here I was like, I had enough. I have to do this now. Bring the Snopios onto the field by banishing the Ceph, activate the Snopios, and next time this thing, I was basically trying to bait this thing out. I activated this so I could try and bait the negate for this, but they didn't go for it at all, bro. So Ceph is going to activate, bring it onto the field, activate the Ceph, and now they activate the Hot Red Dragon, unfortunately. So I can't even go into, I could have banished the whole board here, or I could have went into Ascan, but again, that thing gets bodied and negated, so unfortunately we cannot do that. And with both of these monsters right here, they go into the Baron de la Fleur. Bring it out here then. Now they're going to the battle phase, right? So here they go for my Evermax, and if you're wondering why didn't you activate Evermax, Burn the Floor can negate its effect, and then it would have got popped, and that would have meant that this thing would have kept itself on the field. I'm like, yeah, man, a card for a card, let's do it. Activate this thing's effect, get the Hot Red Dragon out of here, because I set it up so it would get banished when it left, right? So instead of going back to the deck, it gets banished. This thing attacks, so it destroys my Ariampos. Now they activate the Spores in the graveyard, banishing a card so they can special summon that thing. Then they activated the Straddle, special summon it, and here they're going to scoop. Now, if you're wondering why would they scoop, they still have a board. They technically have nothing, bro, because both of these cards are tuners. This thing is a level 7. I'm pretty sure they don't play another level 9 Synchro monster. This would have been their whole board. I still have my level 10 on the field. I have a bunch just off of what I have on the board, bro. I could have went crazy. I could have went into the whale, pop this thing, done piercing damage to this thing, and then vanish this thing with Ascan. I could have went into Ascan, banish it. I could have done a bunch of things. We could have won the game off of what I had on the board, right? So they scooped. Because look at all of the resources they use, and what do they end up with? Nothing. So with that being said, let's go into the next replay. Right, gang, here we are for replay numero 4, number 4 of today. And this one is against Tearlaments, Pearly, Tearlaments, Pearly, because everybody's playing Tearlaments now. Whatever. We're going to start off by activating the Shadow, getting ourselves the Gishki Necro Mirror. We're going to activate the Focus Aqua Mirror, searching out the Grimness. Normal summon the Grimness, activate the Grimness effect, special summon the Abyss. Getting the Gishki Vision, activate the Vision, that way we can search out the Gishki Naramanas. You're always going to try to do this combo. This is your bread and combo butter. This deck is kind of linear. You're going to go into the Elf, right? Activate the Elf's effect, bring the Abyss onto the field. We can speed it up. You're going to search out the Grimness, activate the Necro Mirror, trigger the Grimness so you can special summon the Nivishki, activate Nivishki, special summon the Grimness, activate the Necro Mirror so you could, you know, recycle, go into Gigantic Sprite, activate Gigantic Sprite, special summon Paces, activate the Paces, special summon the Seth. We both for these monsters, IP Masquerena, set down your Infinite Impermanence, activate your Focus Aqua Mirror, set down your Aqua Mirror Illusion, right? That's how you do it. So here we're going to activate the Paces, special summon that thing back onto the field. They're going to activate Pearly's Delicious Memory. I'm going to activate the Sprite Elf to bring the Grimness back onto the field. You always do this at the beginning. Don't wait. Always bring this thing so you can always be able to go into your Gotti combo. So I'm going to activate the thing's effect, bring the Shadow. They activate the Triple Tactics Talent. Now, there's 2 main monsters, well 3 main monsters that they could have taken. This thing, my Paces, or my IP Masquerena. From what I've been dealing with on ladder, they usually take the Vishki or they take my Paces. So I decided to activate this thing's effect. And with both of these monsters, we're going to go into our Ariampos. Again, they activate the Triple Tactics Talent, taking my Vishki. I'm going to activate my Ariampos, banishing the Snopios, activate the Snopios effect, banishing the Paces, bring the Snopios back to my hand, right? Then they're going to normal summon a Pearly. I'm going to Ash Blast on that thing because they only have 2 cards in the hand. And I'm like, you already used all of these shenanigans right here. I'm like, what are the chances that one of those is a Pearly card? I don't know, but I was taking those. Negate that thing. With both of these level 1s, they go into Laristic, whatever that thing is called. So yeah, they see that I don't have a negate on the board, which I do. So they were trying to make a Zeus, right? So I'm going to Infinite Impermanence that thing, get it out of here. Then I'm going to activate my Snopios, banishing the Seth and the Gishki Abyss so I can special summon it. And then I targeted myself, activating the Seth, right? And they did not negate any of this. Any of it at all, right? I'm like, okay, bet. So I special this thing back onto the field, activate the thing's effect, and I'm going to go into the Ascan. And this is what I thought that was happening. They thought that I wasn't going to banish this thing. They were probably thinking, nah, he's not going to do that because this is their monsters. Why would they want to banish this if this is a... No, bro. Yeah, I'm getting it out of here. Ascan, banish that thing, banish the Ascan, activate the Ariampos. Getting myself a Paces follow up next turn. Banish my Ascan, banish my Vishki, and there's nothing else they can do. I didn't even have to use the IP. Which, if they would have went into any shenanigans that would have led to New War or anything like that, I would have activated the IP and went into Goddess. We don't even play Goddess. Now that I think about it. Yeah, we need to add Goddess into this deck. I was playing it in the other version. We need to add Goddess into this deck if I'm not playing it. With that being said, let's go into the next replay. Right, again, this is another Reaper on ladder. Now, I'm sorry that most of all the replays are just Castira variants, but this is what you deal with in Master, bro. It is what it is. I do have another replay against Mechanicals, though, that I'm going to show you. So here they're going to special summon the Castira Unicorn. I'm going to Infinite Impermanence that thing. This is what I was telling you. I opened up with a bunch of hand traps. Most of the time going second, you're going to rely on hand traps, bro. It's just what you're going to do. They activate the Theosis and special summon the Fenrir. Activating the Fenrir, I'm going to Infinite Impermanence that thing as well. Get it out of here. So then they're going to use both of these monsters right here to Exceed Summon into the Shangri, right? Bring it out here. Set down the Castira Birth and end their turn. Okay, muy bien, muy bien. So here we join to an Ash Blossom. They activate that thing's effect. I ash that thing immediately because I don't want them bringing no Fenrir or Unicorn onto the field, right? Then we're going to activate my Gishki Abyss. They're going to Ash Blossom that thing. I do have the Call by the Grave. So give that thing the finger, get it out of here. Surprisingly, they didn't scoop here, which I really thought they were. I'm like, yeah, it's over, bro. Go home. I'm like, okay, let's see. That thing gets bodied and negated. I get myself the Gishki Vision. I'm going to activate the Gishki Vision, send it to the graveyard, and this is why you play this thing at 3. It's so good, bro. Because right here, I would have had nothing. This would have been my board. This thing, that's it. That would have been my board, right? But because we do have the Minurika, it's lit. Special summon the Minurika. Again, the Gishki Vision gonna search out my Vishki. With both of these monsters, we can go into the Sprite Elf. Activate the Sprite Elf's effect. Special summon the Abyss. Activate the Abyss. Get myself the Gishki Shadow. Activate the Shadow. Send it to the graveyard. Get myself the Necro Mirror. And this is why I play this thing at 2. And I love playing this thing in the deck. Because going second, if you have this thing in the hand, you're good. Because now you get to activate the effect. Trigger the Shangri. Tribute the Shangri. And then you get to basically ritual summon this way. Activate the Vishki, special summon the Gishki Vision onto the field, and here they're gonna scoop because we could end the game right here. Activate this thing's effect, recycle our cards. I could have went to Gigantic Sprite, but another monster, all of that shenanigans. It was honestly GG. All they had was one card in the hand, and even if we didn't manage to finish the game here, like my board would have been too tough to deal with at that point in time, right? So with that being said, let's go into the next and last replay of today. Right, gang, here we are for the last replay of the day. Now, this one we can speed it up. Again, you're always going to do the combo is very, very linear. So for example, most of the time what you want to do is bait out an Ash. That's why I activated this thing's effect. We already have a 1-card combo, but just in case they did have the Ash or even Max C, we have the Call by the Grave. We do have our own Ash Blossom as well, right? So we're going to normal summon the Grimness, special summon the Abyss, get a Shadow, activate the Shadow, send it, get yourself the Necro Mirror. With both of these monsters, Sprite Elf activate, bring the Abyss onto the field, activate the Abyss, get yourself a Grimness, activate the Necro Mirror, tribute the Grimness, special summon the Gishki, activate its effect, bring the Gishki Vision onto the field, activate your spell, recycle your cards. Gigantic Sprite, activate Gigantic Sprite, bring the Paces onto the field, special summon your Gishki Abyss, search out another Grimness. With both of these monsters, going to IP Masquerena, set down your Call by the Grave and end your turn, right? So here we're going to get the Paces back onto the field, they're going to hit us with the Max C, and I Call by the Grave that thing. If you're wondering why not use Ash Blossom, it's just Ash Blossom can stop spells. Why would I use Ash Blossom when I can use Call by the Grave and I don't even play at Max C, so it doesn't even affect me? So that's why we Call by the Grave that thing. Bring the Paces back onto the field. Here they're going to show us the Ohime, right? I'm going to Sprite Elf, bring the Grimness back onto the field, and they Call by the Grave that thing. This is why I'm showing you this replay as well. This is what I was telling you. That card alone stops your whole Gotti plays. You cannot play Gotti now. Gotti's done. So here they're gonna search out the mechanical water Arespes, whatever it's called. They're gonna kaiju me. Kaiju the IP, activating the thing's effect, going for the Sprite Elf. They activate that thing's effect and they Ash Blossom that thing. Again, that's why I call by the grave the Maxi, because Ash Blossom stops a lot of shenanigans in this game. Here they're gonna normal summon the Rihi Sorso Makenko. Then they got the double-edged sword, but that thing doesn't have an attachment to it, so they can't really do anything. It's GG's. Also, even if it did have an attachment, I have the Vishki. I could have negated it and sent that thing back into the deck. That would have ended the game as well. So with that being said, let's go back into the deck right, gang. So this is the deck list. This is the deck that I've been just exactly like this. This is what I've been using throughout the whole matches that you saw. Again, if you want to make the changes that I showed you in the beginning of the video, do that. It's up to you. You play the deck however you want to play the deck, right? So any comment, questions, and concerns, hit me up in the comment section below. I try to always reply, and continue having a great day. Peace.